This is our 6.10 item, 9:50 a.m. Consideration of a presentation of annual update from the Lake County Fire Safe Council, and B, letter of support for the Lake County Fire Safe Council to apply for the County Coordinator Grant Program. If it's possible to please quiet down in the room, please. Thank you so much. And we have presenters in front of us. Terry Loxton, please.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Terry Loxton. I'm the Chief Climate Resiliency Officer and Tribal Liaison for the County of Lake, and I'm very happy today to introduce Lori Hutchinson, who is the Program Director for the Lake County Fire Safe Council under the Lake County Resource Conservation District, and she's going to give a presentation about what the Fire Safe Council has been up to in the last year. So I'll turn the microphone to Lori.
Thank you very much, Terry. If you want to go ahead with the first slide. So just a quick background. The Fire Safe Council was created in 2009 as an ad hoc committee of the Board of Supervisors. That has not changed since 2009, so we are currently working on updating that contract just to finalize some different things that needed to be changed, updated, and we're hoping to move. I've always been under the Resource Conservation District. We are hoping to make that a permanent program of the Resource Conservation District, make things go a little bit smoother on my end. Basically, over the past year, we've been working on several different things. If you want to go to the next one, please. Next one. And you can go to the next one. Some of the current projects. So we recently, with the RCD, facilitated a DEIB workshop for both the RCD, the Fire Safe Council, and the RRA. We've worked on a community-wide defensible space program that we just created with a grant that we have recently acquired. We had a stop work order on that in December, so it's kind of on hold at the moment. We've been waiting for the funding to come through and signing contracts on that, but we're hoping to get that up and running. And thankfully, Supervisor Pyska gave us some money out of her discretionary fund to do work. So we actually worked, and Supervisor Crandall, thank you, sir. So we got a list of homes in your areas just this week to Brian Bartko with Hogback Ridge, and so he is prioritizing those homes and looking at them to spend that money and get that defensible space work done on those homes. We all know that's huge throughout the county. So I'm also hoping, I'm super thankful for your guys' support that allows us to do that work right now without having to wait on that other funding. So that's a big one. We are hoping to be able to continue that program. I'm continuing to look for funding right now, working with community partners at different grants to keep that going, and maybe that's something we could address here in the future as well, getting funding for that. Let's see, CMAT recommendations. We are working on implementing several of those CMAT recommendations from that workshop we had like 2 years ago, 3 years, I don't remember the date. It's 3 years ago, thank you. So we're working on implementing that. I just actually received a COCOAIM grant, who is the ones that do the CMAT presentation is COCOAIM. So we've got a grant for that to hopefully get an executive director hired for the Fire Safe Council and the RCD, just to help us build capacity. That's our biggest obstacle, I feel like, right now, is the capacity of myself for the longest time being the only one in the Fire Safe Council. So we hired Jade Coalitions and Collaboratives in 2023. They have helped me with a ton of grant writing, not only writing the grants, but once we get them, administering them, carrying out all that work. So that's been huge for me. Just partnering on events and outreach programs with people, NCO, NeighborFest events. We've done lots of that kind of stuff. What's that?
I said they're fun.
Yes, they are really fun. It's great to engage the community that way and get people just doing fun activities. We all realize that there's a lot that has to go on. We know the wildfire severity and the issues that we have here, but it's fun to get together and collaborate that way and bring people together and get them excited about doing it in their own smaller communities and their neighborhoods. So, and then just supporting local businesses, like using Hogback Ridge crew, trying to keep those people doing a lot of the work, and any other contractors we're vetting here in the county that we can utilize as well. And then we try to support local businesses for these events by hiring them for food services and stuff. Next one. Just pictures. We can go to the next one. The Defensible Space Program, we can't play the video, but if you go to the next slide, Terry, there's a couple of pictures. Here's a before and after picture of one of the residences that we worked on. So we have about $2,500 per household for each home that we go to do this work, and so it varies. Obviously, we just have to vet those houses, look at them when we send the crew out there to do the work. Some days we think, this is the homeowner will tell us this is an all-day project. Well, you send a crew of 8 to 10 people out there, they knock it out in 2 to 3 hours, and it's like, okay, well now we need to find another home to do. So we're working really hard to get those all scheduled with that contractor in same neighborhoods, so that's the best use of their time. And then we're just leveraging other projects that are going on in the community to try to build off of the work that they're doing as well. So we recently did a PG&E project in the Black Forest area, Rivieras. Tara's doing work there, Clerk is doing work there as well. PG&E has asked us to apply for the next round of that grant. So we will continue to work on that evacuation route through that Black Forest and working with the community partners there. I kind of already talked about Jade, hiring them. They've been phenomenal for me. I hope to be able to continue using them. I'm going for another couple of grants right now that will allow us to continue utilizing them and paying them. Future of the Fire Safe Council, kind of same thing. You can go to the next one, Terry. I talked about all these things already, except for the strategic planning. We're working on that as well. Hopefully with this executive director, when we find somebody, we'll start working on that very specifically to keep us moving forward. And then the California Fire Safe Council Coordinator Grant, NCO had that previously. We are hoping to get the letter of support from you guys today so that the Fire Safe Council can go for that round of funding this time. So that will just continue to help fund myself and also Jade Collaboratives. We can pay them through that grant as well to keep furthering our work and do executive director, any of the other capacity building stuff that we are looking to do with personnel.
Is that it?
Yep, that should be it.
Anything further to add before we go to comments and questions?
Infinity.
I'm just glad you're doing it, not me. Nope, I think that is all I have.
Thank you for all the work you do. Thank you for your presentation. It's very appreciated. No matter how much rain falls out of the sky, we're all still worried about fires. We've all experienced whether evacuation or losing homes, and so it's very important to continue that work. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And I believe that Supervisor Pyska has a comment or a question.
Appreciate this this presentation and update, Lori. You've done incredible work with the Fire Safe Council, and we have been putting a lot of effort into developing both the RCD, the Resource Conservation District, and the Fire Safe Council so that they really can stand up on their own. That's been the goal.
Yes.
For the last several years, since the very beginning when I very first took office and I was assigned this committee, which we've been working through the contract. We've been trying to figure out how to get it to be self-sustainable. And what you've talked about are the layering of grants and opportunities that we've been doing. It's not just one, it's many, many, many. Building up that capacity, partnering with the RCD, bringing Jade in. There's been a tremendous amount of work, and the goal is to disconnect this council from the county so that it can be its own entity. And so that's been the goal for a long time. We're getting really, really close. So I'm just so grateful for everybody that shows up for the monthly meeting, that participates, and all the partners that lend a hand. And the Defensible Space Program is something that we've needed in this county for a long, long time. People have always asked us about it because we have many seniors, low-income folks, vulnerable folks. And we know that if we don't have everybody in the community having defensible space, then we're not a hardened community, and then we're susceptible. Your neighbor's susceptible if you don't have defensible space. So this is a big, big deal, and this is a program that we really need to figure out how to make it permanent and sustainable in our communities, which is why Vice Chair Crandall and I front-loaded this program. There were some issues at the state. That's why the stop order happened. But in speaking with Deputy Director Bigelow, it looks like it's getting all worked out, which is good because we need that. But not, we have our regular defensible space, our annual maintenance, but this year and last year got hit by hard storms that caused a lot of damage. A lot of trees came down last year in the lower elevations. And then this year up in the higher elevations. So we really need to be able to expand it when we have that need, because right now in Cobb, we've got all thousands of trees down everywhere. In 6 months, that's a hazard. So really, we finally have this program, and it does, it highlights the need for seniors, but also our Latino population. And our low-income folks. And so those are the three groups that it's really targeted to, but anybody should apply if they've got this need, especially if they have a whole lot of new yard decorations.
Yes,
and there could be some more after this weekend. So this letter to the State Fire Safe Council is really important. What the State Fire Safe Council has learned is that we're not unique. Lake County, we have a fire safe council, but it is not a council. There's no members on it. We've had Lori running the show for years, and you've been doing a great job. But we need to develop it more, and the state is really seeing that. And so that's why they're releasing the second round of funding, because they know the first round of funding kind of got, the wheels moving, but it's not enough. It's not enough. When I talk to my colleagues in other counties, like Butte County has 52 employees.
Yeah.
Their fire safe council has 52 employees.
That'd be amazing.
Right. We have one. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So I'm in full support of the letter, getting this next round of funding, continuing to build up that work. And when the day comes for us to separate, that is going to be a beautiful day, because I'll know the Fire Safe Council will be standing up on its own with the RCD.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for your undying support. It's meant the world, honestly.
Happy to.
I see no further comments or questions. I'll ask a quick question. So this is very similar to prior grants that you said was going through NCO in the past. Is it going to be logistically coordinated in the same way, where they apply for Lake County, they receive the fundings? Who was doing the reporting and actually running the actual grant based on the requirements from the state? Just wanted to check in, just because it has the County of Lake's name. I would suspect there's a certain level of capacity required from the County of Lake in order to ensure that requirements are met at the state. Just wanted to better understand that process, and if that's the same process we would be using.
It's different because NCO applied last time.
So they didn't apply for the County of
No.
Lake, they applied as their own?
They applied
Gotcha.
through the Risk Reduction Authority, in partnership with the Risk Reduction Authority. And NCO, because again, we were trying to figure out how do we build up this program. And so a lot happened. NCO supported the meetings. There was staff time. There was the best fits grants. There was a lot that came out of that, but it wasn't exactly the correct fit. And so now that the RCD, we've been developing them, and with the help of Jade, now the RCD as a special district has the capacity to apply for the grant and support the Fire Safe Council grant, or Fire Safe Council, even though we're still tied with the county.
Right. And so the RCD will still be administering a lot of that grant. Reporting will go through the county as well, but we will be doing, myself and then the RCD will be doing all that reporting and making sure it gets there on time and to whoever it needs to go to. But you guys will be looped into that as well.
Okay. And my question is always one of capacity. I don't think this would be brought to us if there wasn't the capacity to be able to do that, but I do have concerns of capacity. We keep asking more and more from our admin, and it doesn't sound like any of the funds would go to the county, so we would be using our own general funds in a sense to process and maybe that's $5,000. I don't know what the exact cost would be. But just thinking out loud for future causes, as there is an increase and there is more that's capable to be done through these grants, that it would also maybe ask more from the county, and maybe at that point looking at a grant that can split off a portion to the county to help pay and compensate for the work that the county will be doing on their part to ensure, because if there are issues with grants, that all would come back to the County of Lake. It wouldn't come back to the Fire Council, and I just want to think in the future, want to support what you're doing and continue what you're doing. Expanding capacity and being able to do more work to keep people safe in our communities is super important. But just wanted to put that concept out there and just think of how it is that we can share some of those resources as well.
But we already fund the Fire Safe Council through Title III. So we already receive those funds. Then they go through the RCD and into the Fire Safe Council, and that's how Lori is paid.
Right. And then Kristen Murphy is my Jade partner. She could not be here today, but she would have been the one that would be able to jump on that, and Anne's like, oh, yes, da-da-da-da, because she's great about all the grants. But I know that you can write into some of these grants, you take the administrative fees and pay things out of that. So I don't know how that works with the county, if it's a contractual.
Well, the only connection we have right now is the Title III. We have the contract,
Right.
and we have the Title III funding. The RCD is handling all of this.
All of the rest of
So
this.
we don't have an obligation for this grant. The RCD and the Fire Safe Council is handling.
I would say we do. If our name is on the grant and
Yes.
it's a pass-through, we need to ensure and review that the reporting is being done appropriately and not just not take a look at it. So there's a certain level of oversight that's required from the county.
Yes.
Again, it could cost a maximum of $5,000, and even then, it might not be that much. But there is a certain capacity and cost that is attributed to the county for doing it.
Very similar to what's already happening with the Title III responsibility.
So just wanted to bring that up. Any further questions or comments? Opening it up for public. Any comments or questions? And bringing it back to the board for action.
Nothing further, Chair. I move to approve the letter of support for the Lake County Fire Safe Council to apply for the County Coordinator Grant Program.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Yeah.
Keep our fingers crossed for you.
Thank you so much.